Hi, this is Dave Walton, 7th grade science and health teacher. I'm here today along with Mr. Bones, my room mascot. He models my University of Louisville apparel, and also it kind of helps him sometimes keep from getting chilled. I wanted to be here today to tell you a little bit about my educational experiences and why I became a teacher. And first of all, I need to let you know about some of the things I've done in my life, and then maybe tell you why, what led me to do them and why I did them. I have a BS degree from ISU, Indiana State University, and I have a Master's of Education plus 24 hours above my Master's from Indiana Wesleyan University, and also have my principalship degree from Indiana Wesleyan University. I've got numerous certifications. I'm proud especially of the one that I have, which is the NASA Ignite STEM program. I have 92 hours in that program alone. And I've also served as athletic director full-time here at the middle school for 10 years, and I've been assistant AD for 9 years. I've also served as a transition school to work coordinator and worked out of central office in Wabash, Indiana. And I took students with disabilities and put them on job sites. I also have taught shop 7 through 12, and in those programs I taught mechanical drawing, architectural drafting. I taught building trades, natural woodworking, metals, sand casting, and a beginning welding class. So I've done a number of things there. I've also been a head basketball coach and head baseball coach in Indiana, which is quite an honor. I served on a state board for 3 years for the Indiana Association of School Principals. I've been an original charter member of the Indiana Foster Care and Adoption Association, doing the first state brochure for them. I taught foster parent kinship training for the state for 16 years to support my income. I've had over 100 kids in my care over the years, and that's through agencies for the county and group homes. I left teaching for a short period of time to be a project manager on a new church, which is in Greencastle, Indiana. Just happens to be the largest geodesic dome side by side in the Midwest at the time when I did those, and I took it from the ground up. And it's got a 40-foot foyer in between, and they're 74 foot in diameter. They have 26 sides to them. And for some of you that think that you take math classes and you never know if they're going to apply or if you can use them, I'm here to tell you that I used every bit of the math that I'd learned through school on those buildings. And it was pretty neat to do a practical application. I had school groups that came through the turret amongst many adult groups. I started a weekend training project while I was in Wabash, Indiana, which is still going at the vocational school after 24 years. We have students prior to going to work sites that we developed a training program for them. We weren't sure if we could get in, and now the vocational school has said it's one of their most successful programs. So I'm honored to be an originator of that program. I've conducted state workshops also on the weekend training project, and also went to other school districts throughout the state. I manage group homes for kids in Indiana with 3 of the largest agencies, and probably one of the biggest thrills of my life is I was in the Bricklayers Union as a journeyman and the Carpenters Union as a journeyman. These helped me to work my way through college and to be able to support my teaching habit for a few years. And as a result, Indiana State gave me 27 extra credit hours towards a major in vocational education, which is on my transcript, but I've never been able to use that. And then also I worked as a farmhand in my earlier days, and I made actually started out with $1.25 an hour and worked my way up to $2, which was pretty good pay for back then. Now, I know that you're probably thinking at this time how old I am, because kids are asking me all the time how old I am, and I usually tell them I'm about 3 days older than dirt. And after reading all these things I've done, and I probably left out a lot of them, you're probably wondering if that's probably not true. But I'm really not going to tell you, but the only thing I can say is to keep digging. The other thing I wanted to point out is I tell you all these things that I've done in my lifetime. You know, and I tell these things to you not to boast, but to give you an idea that that I'm really blessed and what hard work can do. And it's called work ethic. And it starts with doing homework, ouch. But I think that when you develop that good work ethic, it can bring fun and joy to your life. And let me tell you a few things of how that came about in my life. I had a 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Smith, that gave me extra work. I mean, she worked with me really strongly and gave me all the extra help that I needed and give me extra work as I needed to help me grow. And I became very strong in math. I went from someone that needed to be tutored to someone that tutored others. And this helped me to be able to do projects such as building houses and doing one of the largest geodesic dual domes in the Midwest. I used about everything I'd had acquired in my education, especially with mathematics, my whole life, and that was great. I had a very supportive mother that she was just grand. She came down with leukemia my freshman year in high school, and it progressed, and she passed away my senior year at Christmas time. But she left, she was very supportive, and she always encouraged me, and she made me promise that I would go to school. And a lot of times when I thought about quitting, I would always remember those days when we talked in the hospital. And that was a driving element for me. And also I had I remember that when I did want to start to quit. And I finished school, and I did more than that. I've done a lot of different things. I had a dad that taught me a skilled trade. I was able to get in a union, a masonry union, at age 17. I think he might have fibbed about my age a little bit at the time. You could do that. Had an older brother that's been like a dad to me. He taught me good work ethics, and he's just been like that second dad, as I said. And I have another brother that's been a vocational director, and he is actually been a teacher, and he's retired now, but he's been an inspiration to me as far as continuing and finishing school. I played in 4 sports in high school. I was one of the only freshmen to play varsity basketball my freshman year. I told everybody that was probably because at the time the one behind me was a lady, and they didn't use ladies on basketball teams then. But I was very honored to be able to do that. And you know, my trade experience and my educational experience has opened a lot of doors for me. And all the way, again, from building houses to building the largest church in the Midwest to being able to do teaching shop classes and a lot of vocational programs. I have to say that it's been if I was to say why teaching, why to do this, it's been a great compassion of mine due to a strong work ethic. And I think to be able to get a compassion, you have to have a strong work ethic. And you have to have the desire to want to do it. And I look back at every time I think about wanting to do something different, I visit my mother and her request. And you have to have the desire, but it's been a strong faith of mine that's driven me and laid the foundation for what I do. I've been blessed to have done a lot of things, and like I said, I probably left out a lot of things. But because of this foundation I've had, we've encouraged our kids in like manners. Pam, my wife, she's a nurse with a 4-year nursing degree, which is rare these days. I have Carrie, which is a neonatal doctor, and her husband's an OB doctor working in Louisville for Norton Hospitals. And Kevin works for the other hospitals in the area. I have Christy, my oldest daughter, who is a nurse, and she actually has a therapeutic horse farm, Lakeland Research Center, and works with Rose Hallman. They come out and they've taken her on as a project. She worked with a local student that got injured in an accident and has for several years. Her husband's actually, Tim, is actually a chemical engineer, works for Lone Star in Greencastle. I've got Amy is in school right now. I'm really proud of her. She's going on to be a physical therapist and doing well. And Michael, he's got a lot of technical training in computers, and right now he's driving a limo and he's making pretty good money. The lessons for me that I want to share with you is, you know, it is a work ethic, and it starts with doing your homework, and it starts with turning things in on time. And I can't stress that enough, to be able to get that work ethic. And as when you do that, I want you to keep one thing in mind: don't ever look down on anybody unless it's to help them up. And if you help them up, then push them up a little bit higher, and that's going to bring you higher too. Want to have fun. Everything you do, I think hard work brings joy and satisfaction in your life, and you can have fun. And the other thing I want to pass on is a great Jim Valvano. They call him Jimmy V. And he died a long, hard-fought battle with cancer. But he always said, don't give up, don't ever give up. In science, we talk a lot about there's no such thing as failure. We try again and again and again. It's kind of like a spiral. Don't ever give up. Understand? In my book, there's no such thing as failure. If life and all the things that I've done came easy, no, it didn't. It took a lot of hard work and sometimes a lot of struggles. But I had a lot of people believed in me, and a lot of people didn't give up. I got those little letters and cards from my 5th grade teacher, even in my adult life, saying, hey, I saw your picture in the paper, I'm proud of you. So have fun, and I want to leave you with something about the turtle. I kind of do a little ministry thing on the side. It's about the turtle. Turtles have a tendency to always go forward. Not that they can't go backwards, but they have to be prodded to. So when you look at that turtle and you stop to think, I'm going to move forward today. I'm not going to move backwards. And I think if you keep some of those solid things in mind, you can do a lot. I think another thing I do that goes along with a good work ethic is I'm always early at what I do. I get a lot done, and I'm always prepared. I think preparation is big. So you students that are struggling with your grades, get in there and get that homework done. Get a good work ethic. And I think you'll find a difference in your life, and I think you'll find a difference in the attitude of teachers towards what you do. And don't forget to help others. That's what I have for you today. I appreciate you listening to me, and if you ever want me to come back on and tell you about some of the things I left out, that's okay. But I thought it was important to tell you some of the things I've achieved in my lifetime, and I'm honored by those. And again, I look back myself, and I'm not sure how I got them all done, but I did, and I think the busiest of people will get things done. And I want to leave you with this. This is a wrap on behalf of me and Mr. Bones. Thank you.